In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. If any member has reason to believe that this meeting is being held in violation of this act, they should state so at this time. Seeing nothing, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dave, roll call, please.
Sure. All right, we got Michael,
Yes.
Councilman Bonner,
Here.
Christopher, Gretchen, Kim,
Here.
Randall, Justine, Barbara,
Present.
Sarah,
Here.
Charlotte,
Here.
and myself.
Okay, we have the minutes of May 27th, 2025. Anybody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I was absent, so I'll have to abstain on that. Okay, then we have old business, planning board report. We have a meeting tonight. There's no applications, but there's a lot of administrative stuff we're going over tonight. The last meeting we had two meetings of the, well, we actually had two meetings of the Jetty, which took place over, what, 2 separate months, actually. It was probably about 7 or 8 hours of testimony on that thing. They voted it down. Environmentally speaking, there was not any issues with the project at all. Mainly, it was just for design and use of the building, what they wanted to have done. And it was voted down, which is okay. Let's see what we got here. Randy, you want to, city council? I'm sorry, go ahead, you're good, Steve.
Councilman.
Okay. Just so 2 items I would mention. The nature trails are open. We had the ribbon cutting a few weeks ago. I hope
It's
you
really
had,
nice.
I was going to say, I
Really
hope
nice.
everybody's had a chance to get out there. It really is exceeded, I think, everybody's hopes and expectations as far as what it offers. And I don't really want to say a whole lot more other than, well, I would say this. It's been a resounding success if you see the number of people that have gone out there. I know we're going to talk about it a little bit more today as far as possibly for programs and the other opportunities that it affords for the city and for us to bring forward. So I know we're going to have a little more of a discussion on that, today. So I'll just leave it at that. But if anybody is listening and hasn't had a chance to get out there, go out there and see it. It's gorgeous, and looking forward to
Go at
spending a
high
lot of time
tide.
out
It's really
there.
nice at high tide.
It really is amazing, isn't it? It's, yeah, it's fantastic. The other item I just wanted to mention is, I think at the last meeting, we had a discussion about the Columbia University project with the report of the sustainability of the drinking water, the desalination plant in Cape May, and we had talked about the possibility of the Environmental Commission doing a presentation to City Council regarding that. I know we had post-meeting, there was a brief discussion, and I think there was a lot of enthusiasm for doing that presentation. And if anybody is available to meet after this meeting, was planning on sticking around, we can discuss organizationally, maybe just the approach that we want to take. We need to keep in mind that as excellent as the report is, it's a 70-page report. There's a ton of information in there, and to do a presentation to the public and for City Council for engagement and for awareness, you need to grab your audience and you need to make your presentation. I think to be effective, it needs to be brief, and we need to hit the high points. So I think we would benefit from an organizational meeting just to discuss how we want to go about doing that presentation, keeping in mind, some of the parameters that I've just discussed. So I'm willing. I was hoping to stay around a little bit, after this meeting to discuss it. Welcome anybody who wants to participate in that and be, presenting, to City Council, because I would imagine it being done with some type of, say, like a PowerPoint presentation and, one or two people doing, that presentation from the Environmental Commission. I think it would be fantastic, and candidly, I think it would be met very well by City Council as well for this commission to be, doing such a presentation as well.
We ought to make sure that Christine gets involved in that somehow. She's not here, she won't be here today.
Yes.
Justine, yeah.
Justine,
Justine.
yeah. And so we can discuss that further. I agree. Was so deeply involved in every aspect of this
I don't
project.
see any reason why she wouldn't want to get heavily involved in that.
I know she's interested in doing this. So we will make sure, look, today's an organizational meeting, so we're not going to get everything done today, but we will, and we could talk about how to move forward.
Okay, next up is the ANJEC grant. Gretchen's not here just yet,
Yeah.
so we'll put a hold on that. You want to talk about the grant at all?
No,
Okay,
thank you.
Yeah, I just think that the grant, we did not get it.
right.
Right, that was basically, yeah, I don't know if there was any other comments about that she would want to add.
I'm not sure why we didn't get it, actually, but
Yeah,
there's a
Tough
lot of
competition.
people who want money.
right.
Yeah.
Simple.
Tough competition and cuts in funding, basically. They don't have enough money to give to people.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay, anybody else have any old business they want to talk about? New business, we have the clothing event. Gretchen, again, is not here. We'll just move this down the line, and whenever she gets here. If she's not here, we'll just move it over to next month. The wildlife habitat certification. Again, that's heard bailiwick there. Anybody who wants to come in on that, it's fine. I don't know anything about it, actually.
Me neither.
Okay, then we have the, let's see here, nature trail. David, do you want to speak about that at all?
Yeah, sure. So I do have another job with the city, and that's recreation. I know a little bit about the outdoors. So as you guys talked about earlier, the new trails are absolutely gorgeous. And I think this would be a good time to kind of at least start and think about programming. And hopefully put something out there for the public to kind of come out there and attend. And if it's an in-house program or something with the recreation department. But I was kind of hoping to start some ideas today of what we like to see out there. I've had people in my department talking about doing like a scavenger hunt. Maybe putting some signs out there, interpretive signs is, showing people what you see. Maybe even including some QR reader codes. I think those would be easy starts. We do have some money in the budget for at least, I think signage would be a good start. I'm not sure if that would be something that can be maybe paid for by the, however it was paid for in the first place. But we do have money with our Budget Environmental Commission. I think signs would be a really good start for sure. But programming also. So I don't know if you want to, I mean, I can reach out to other local organizations, maybe find volunteers who have a really good background.
Certainly some kind of a birding type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's birding, there's also, trees.
Wildlife, yeah.
There's a lot of different wildlife other than just the birds. But yeah, I mean, definitely we have this fantastic group called the Audubon. They're right down the street. I can definitely help out for sure. I haven't spoken to anybody yet, but I think this is a good time now to kind of really start,
They have
at least maybe narrowing down some ideas and,
They have a couple expanded stands out there on the boardwalk, so you can maybe have a meeting out there, right on the.
yeah. I think maybe even, I mean, I'm also at the community center, so maybe even doing like a loaner program. I know some of the parks I've been to where you can actually borrow binoculars and bring them out there with you. Not everybody travels with binoculars. I do, but maybe one of the few, but maybe something like that. You can pick up the community center, maybe in convention hall.
I haven't been out at the point, but
a good idea.
what does the point
Cape May Point?
Do they do that
Do
at the
they-
nature
on
center?
their
I
stuff
think
out
they
there on
might
those
have.
walkways, do they do stuff
binoculars.
out there, you know, as far
And we
as
also have the money in the grant for, but
just signage? That's
Just
it?
signage.
Yeah.
And they usually
Yeah,
have
why not?
somebody
Yeah.
stationed there at different, various times
Yeah.
that brings the binoculars and shows people what's migrating through.
so maybe even like,
Binocular tour.
maybe even like a one-off, like we just kind of maybe start off by just doing like a one tour. We get a date, you write up the event and put it out there, just see what the feedback is and what people are looking for. Just get something started, an organized event.
Yeah.
People are captivated by the ospreys out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we even did something just about expanding information on that, and, I mean, I could almost see that being the foundation for, for a program in and of itself, just with, with that. And we had the stands out there. I know for the ribbon cutting, they were so cooperative by hanging out there, the whole day and just being there for us. So they couldn't have been a better representative for the
Good
city.
performance.
Yeah, they're showing off for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're all full too. Every stand was already all full, which is great.
Wow.
That quickly.
Yeah, so I think that's, I mean, with birding, but that's another aspect of it. Because I know we're going to get people out there who are specifically looking for like the migration and birds, things going along those lines. But the ospreys seem to be, it's almost like become like a Cape May thing as
Yeah.
well. So I think it's something we could really, I'm sure we have local folks that we can tap into that can, you may know all about that, David. I don't know. I know I don't know.
I know, I'm
But
not an
if
expert,
not, you
but
know the people
I know a
who-
little bit. I can probably find some people who can definitely give a
Yeah,
hand.
so I think it could be, as I said, we could probably build a program around something, around the ospreys.
Is the signage you're thinking about doing not just before you go onto the trail or like on the trail?
Well, so just talk what I've seen in the past. I've seen where they'll have like the signs, like the metal angled signs. I'm not sure. Just things
I
we
don't
do
know
before.
if the council would allow you to put stuff.
And then they also,
on
which
the sign. Oh,
which I've always seen as a really big hit, especially with the kids, is where they'll have full-size outlines of how big a bird is on the railings itself, where it'll say, hey, look above and you see what it looks like. It kind of gives you an idea of
Right.
what you're seeing. Not in much detail, but it's kind of like a black silhouette. Does that make sense of like how big the actual bald eagle is or osprey? It's just ideas. I've seen in lots of parks and I've seen people hover around those kind of signs, so it draws the most in.
Yeah, so I think first, look, we come up with the information. We come up with the information that we think would be interesting to folks that would be out there. The delivery is going to be, a whole another piece. Mike, you're absolutely right. We would, the whole idea
It could
of
work. It could
signs.
Work out there, just to, like, something like, it would be really cool to see, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at, like,
Yeah.
something presented to you,
Yeah.
you're looking up and there it is.
To me, the QR codes are fantastic, just being able to get that information and be able to look in your phone, just throwing out ideas before you even get out on the trail, being able to load something and then be able to go out there and have the information. I don't know if we'd be able to do that, or even just a sign that has a QR code. It doesn't even have to be like a sign per se. It could be, it could be almost like an emblem type of thing that would be on down, then you can just access the QR code.
What
Just
other parks are out there like that have like walkways on the meadows? I mean, elsewhere around.
I mean, I know
The zoo.
Does Delaware have certain?
the
things?
zoo.
The zoo has
is it us?
signs about birds, yeah.
Where is it?
The Cape May County Zoo has signs about the birds that you're seeing with the
We
binoculars.
might not have to recreate the wheel here. It might be
Yeah.
nice to see what other.
John Heinz Wildlife Refuge by the airport in Philadelphia has a great
Okay.
deck where it goes across the whole area where it has a bunch of different signs. And so if you ever want to look into what they're doing,
That might be worth an effort just to see what we get online and see what they do.
yeah, they have a great, and I'm
What
thinking,
is it, John Hines, you said?
John Heinz, yeah, Wildlife Refuge. It's in Philadelphia.
So is this a designated responsibility you would like this committee to dig into and go with?
I don't mind,
Whoever wants to,
I don't mind taking the lead on this.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we got
I mean, we
he's
should,
he's ready to roll.
Right.
Some money.
Well, but I think it's just, yeah, I mean, it's
great
a good
idea.
time to,
and we
like-
have the funds,
We have the
right?
money, yeah.
Yeah.
we do. We do.
this is a great group to tap into for ideas. you know, and then doesn't mean every idea comes to fruition, but I'm sure there's a lot of really good ideas that can come out of this group. I think that, I would agree with Mike. I think that we could do a lot by taking the lead, and we're just helped that much more so by, I mean, Dave, you being on this committee, you're being a director of recreation, and with your specific background, I mean, it's just, we just have like a really perfect
Nature
harmony here for
Conservancy's
this to be
got a
done.
few things out there, so maybe we can get on their website and take a peek.
Yeah, yeah. I know they do
At
it.
the point, I'm trying to-
Yeah, down at the lighthouse, yeah, they have great signage out there. They run some great programs. They can even help out with some,
So first off, we need to give the Osprey family a very Cape May name.
we do. We sure do.
Oh, that might be fun for the kid, like,
Oh,
like as a,
Yeah,
like a contest
yes.
for the kids and stuff.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, she was thinking about doing a scavenger hunt
Yeah.
where we can hand out the papers at the community center, or maybe even have a slot there where it tells you everything to look for. And then when you find everything, you bring it back to the community center, and maybe we can give them, like a treat or a lollipop, something to kind of get the kids to
Yeah.
interact with there and to come back to the community center. So that's another option too.
They like-
And I was asking her if she wants to come back and talk at one of the meetings to kind of present to you if you guys want to hear her speak about it. But it's a great little paper she put together, and it has a QR on it too, so.
And I don't know what the school is thinking about doing. I mean, they may have some ideas of what they're going to be doing out there, so maybe we could touch base with the Board of Ed
Yeah.
and see what their intentions are. Maybe not anything, I don't know. just yet. I know they're tickled to death to see that thing there. They love it.
So I guess we're in agreement to do an Osprey program.
That's fine.
Do you want me to reach out to people locally and put that together and present that end?
Yes.
And then with the QR reader program, I'm not Mr. Technology, admit it, but I don't know, if you want me to take there, or somebody else is interested in doing some kind of QR program.
Fine, you can
Yeah.
pitch it with the OSPRI program. Let's do the QR program and see what we come up with, some ideas of what might work.
Okay,
All right, is that all right?
okay with me.
Yeah.
I think if we get our information together, look, famous last words, but I think the QR part is actually for the tech people, is the easy part. I think it's more significant that we get our information together. And the thing that's nice as well is, look, we get it together, things can be modified and changed. We can have something together now for next summer. If it evolves into something more, we can change the information, they can change the code. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily a big deal. I say that because I know that has happened in other ways, with other programs with QR codes with the city. So I don't foresee an issue with that. I don't know, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I didn't hear you, David, or if you had mentioned about Camp Cape May with the kids. I know there was a discussion about kids, but there's the kids camp going on right now. I don't know if the folks over there have considered something out there other than just like walking the kids over
Yes.
there, if they have the ability, but it would be really neat for them, for a program to be developed with there. I don't know if, I'm not saying we hand that off to them, but at least if we say, hey,
It's there for their
let's
use, yeah.
put the idea out there and let them run with it and kind
So
of
we will,
help them
so
along.
I run Camp Cape May also.
Okay, okay. So that's why you're here.
Yeah, so, yeah, I definitely spoke with our new director. She's fantastic. We will get the kids out there, not when it's 110 degrees today, but.
Fantastic.
No, and they're all super excited, and even if we don't have a program designed by that end or that point when they come, I can lead the program just from what I know and bring the kids out. But
Okay.
we're probably talking, we could get up to 60, 70 kids, so it would be great to get them out there. And
Okay, but today's not the day, by the way.
today's definitely not the day. Today they're in the air conditioning convention hall, so watching
Down
some
the road,
movies.
it'll
And
be a win-win for all ages, young.
For sure,
older.
yeah,
So I guess the OSPRIs would be upset if we didn't start with them, right?
correct.
So let's just start, let's
They're known for that, yeah.
do that.
You get a
Hey, put
live
the eye-
camera out there on them.
Just get some ideas.
That would be, you can
Wouldn't
do,
that be cool?
that's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, put it on
They
our
do that.
webpage.
They do that.
Get a live camera on them so they can, people
So when
can
you
watch.
start doing all the nesting,
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
like they do with the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles.
Be pretty amazing.
It is.
The Ospreys probably say, no way.
Right?
All right, that works. Anything else for, so Dave, you're going to try and get something together on that then?
It's a good start, yeah.
That's a nice project out there. That'll really be nice.
You know, just a little bit of history, and I may have mentioned this before, but I have a son, or we have a son, who's ready almost to retire from a regular job.
Ouch.
But, yeah, exactly. But as a fifth and sixth grader at Cape May City Elementary School, the science teacher, Mr. McCarty, would take them for walks back there. And it was part of the curriculum, it built into the school. And so it'd be wonderful to know if that sort of curriculum goes on even today, that they utilize, you know, what's ever present for them. And I know that Gretchen certainly is very interested in that walk and would add a whole lot of excellent information. I also,
As is the Board of Ed, by the way. They're intense, I'm sure they're going to have something going on there.
exactly.
Okay.
And I know that the Mid-Atlantic Center for the Arts, over the years, have had a bus tour that is something like Cape May Naturally, and takes the tourists through the town, pointing out our natural spots. So that, you know, getting inclusive with MAC and finding out if they're still doing their programs. And then when we've developed some sort of script or informational data for them, they might want to add to it. You know, when you think of Cape May, certainly everyone is in love with our beaches and our historical homes. But when you go out there, you almost can't breathe. It's so beautiful. It's just incredibly beautiful. And in a world where there are high emotions sometimes, this is a very calming thing to do and educational. So that's it.
All right, you're up. You want to talk about the stewardship?
Sure,
and the national
sure.
wildlife?
And
We'll talk about Harborfest in a minute. But
Okay.
we'll let you, go ahead.
so I would like to just say that according to New Jersey Audubon, this is National Pollinator Week. Congratulations, everybody, in case you didn't realize that that's going on. And in a tiny bit of research I'll share with you, according to New Jersey Audubon Society, the Pollinator Week is noted for protection of hardworking bumblebees, of all things. Bumblebees are hardworking with very large bodies covered with hair, and this hair gives them special ability to move large amounts of pollen, making the bumblebee a highly efficient pollinator, both in the wild plants and cultivated plants. So, if you're somebody who likes blueberries, thank a bumblebee. They pollinate up to 6 blueberry flowers in the same amount of time that it takes one honeybee to pollinate just one. There are about 15 species of bumblebees in New Jersey, but unfortunately, through habitat destruction, disease, insecticides, we're losing some of them. So, also worldwide, and specifically here in the U.S., according to the national news, unfortunately, some federal monies for those native bees and to study them and to have plants specifically for them. It's unfortunate, but some federal budget cuts may come along. We're not sure yet, but according to wildlife biologist in Laurel, Maryland, who's one of the world's leading native bee experts, native bees are pollinators that live in the wild as compared to honeybees. Honeybees are generally farmed, but this entomologist is calculating a steady population decline in most bee species because of the hazards of pesticides. So that's just one little area I wanted to bring to your attention. And then secondly, right now, you have to be someone who's living in a closet not to know that we have horseshoe crabs by the thousands right now. And they are just amazing, the footprint that they leave for us with their little eggs and certainly their medicinal uses. The blood of a horseshoe crab provides a valuable medical product critical to maintaining the safety of many drugs and devices used in medical care. The horseshoe crab has been coming to New Jersey's Delaware Bay shore for millions of years to lay their eggs. One female crab can lay as many as 80,000 eggs in a season. This is the largest concentration of spawning horseshoe crabs on the Atlantic coast. The eggs are a valuable source for millions of migrating shorebirds who arrive to the shores famished from their long journeys. So specifically, I do know that indeed there are people who have schedules to go out and flip them, and they have made it their, their purpose this spring to do that. And this is something that appeared at the Nature Center about a year ago. Be a steward of the ocean, leave only footprints. Walk, bike, and bus. Eat more plants. Growing food, especially meat, has a huge impact on our climate. Ditch disposable products. Use a reusable bottled water. Learn more about the amazing creatures that live in the sea. Bring your own cup to a party. And being a steward, make sure there are no balloons blowing away because marine life and shorebirds can get tangled into the curling ribbon. Reduce nutrient runoff. That means if you're fertilizing your lawn, then some of that certainly can create bloom collapse and release carbon dioxide into the seawater. Redirect downspouts. Downspouts are often directed onto a paved surface, such as a driveway, which sends water directly into the street when it rains, and then this goes directly into another property or into the runoff and the ocean. Flip the switch. We have many appliances in our lives, and maybe we should turn off some of those appliances. I'm a great one for thinking that we should have clothes on clotheslines. Whatever happened to that? Did they stop manufacturing clothespins and clotheslines? I'm not sure. Take a look around. Dispose of your medications safely. Don't flush them down. Take a shorter shower that uses less water than a bath. Keep your distance from animals that may be a part of your neighborhood. I think that we do have a few coyote in this town. See and hear them. Buy U.S. caught seafood. Seafood caught in the U.S. is subject to some of the strictest standards in the world. So these signs are part of a legacy at the Nature Center. And that's it. Thank you.
All right, Dave, you got something on clean communities?
I do. We have our next cleanup in July 8th. And it's always posted on Environmental Commission's website also. Full list of the whole year.
Okay.
And that's, okay.
I'm sorry, my mic was off. So it's July 8th is our next cleanup.
Okay.
Yeah.
David, where is it going to be? Do you know which? Never mind. Look on the website.
City of Cape May Environmental Commission. You click on that, and then there's a tab there. I'm sorry, it's a tab in the Environmental Commission, and it has the full list of all the cleanup locations.
Okay. And how about Harbor Fest? Where we stand on that, Dave?
I've got some crafts
Okay.
pertaining to horseshoe crabs, and I think that's very relevant for today, and what people can actually see if they even walk down to the water's edge there on the bay. Well, actually, yes.
So what time
The
do you
harbor.
need people down there on Saturday? What do you think? Set stuff up or anything like that?
So the event's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
We do have a table, or maybe two at the Nature Center.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. New Jersey Audubon is setting up 2 tables for us,
Okay. Environmental Commission
for
table.
the Environmental Commission.
Wonderful.
Right. And I think Sarah might, are you going to have the solar exhibit?
Yes, we're trying to figure out, I have community solar pamphlets from last time. Do we know if this is still up to date? It seemed up to date on the website, but they're still offering this program, right? The community solar? Do we know? Okay, I'll find out, because we have a bunch of pamphlets for that. And then Justine was checking to see, she said we could use her panel again if we want to have her solar cell.
Do we have our 2 banners?
I have one banner, and I have,
2 of them, I think.
We have 2, yeah.
yeah, I have the one,
I
and
think
it,
I have the other one.
yeah, I have one, this is the Environmental Commission, and I have another one, it's more of like a paper, like a big cardboard roll-up.
So what time do you think you, I mean,
I'm
I'll
gonna
be
check
down
my
early to
storage.
help out set up. I mean, what time do you think anybody's going to show up there to set up? What do you think?
I'm not sure what the Nature Center time is, but I can find out for like Sarah, or whoever else
Or
is.
anybody can stop by and volunteer anytime during 10
Yes.
to 5. Just
Yeah,
show
so
up.
we had the tables there.
Okay.
Right.
That's the
I'll show
important
up
part.
early to make sure it all gets set up for sure.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe like 8:30, set things up, and then at a certain point, the police department does barricade, and then the barricades let loose around the 5 o'clock so we can collect. And so I'll be there most of the day. I'll be kind of going back and
So
forth.
if anybody's available, just be there during the day and we can help out.
I will be there early. I mean, I'll be there like at 10 or 9:30 to set up, and then till about noonish or
I'll
something.
be there the second shift,
And Sarah will be there in the afternoon.
2:30.
Okay.
So I'll make sure I get everything from you, like the banner and stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to give that to you probably the day before, if that's okay.
I can give you a banner too.
Okay.
But I might have my own table, other one I'm working at with the community center maybe, so
Okay.
I'm not sure how much I can do with this end, but I can give
Okay.
you. what I have.
Okay.
I have one more little thing that,
ahead.
this, driving up from Florida this year, and stopping at, some of the way stations in each welcoming state, Virginia was interesting. Virginia was handing out hummingbird wildflower garden mix. And it said, "Happy Mother's Day, welcome to Virginia," which was really cool. And I thought, we have a welcome center. Wouldn't it be interesting if at our welcome center, and we had some budget money for some seeds for people to plant in their own yards, that would help our wildlife? Just a thought.
So
We
we,
hand out flower seeds at one of the festivals.
Yes, we did.
And there was
Yeah.
little kids, if they get their hands on it, they're just, it's gold to them.
so there is the Monarch Fest in
Right.
September,
Want to give that to David?
So
which
they
would be a good time to,
They could still plant them in September.
Yes.
and there's lots of crafts around how to spread it. You can make those little, what are they called?
Or
Little
something-
mud balls where you
the idea
can,
is something like this. We can
Right.
make up whatever we
Sure.
Right.
like to do.
Yeah.
This is a nice little.
yeah, I mean, you can get ones where it says like City of Cape, you can get the city logo on, or you
Wouldn't
can,
the kids like
Right.
to do this? Wouldn't some kids at Camp Cape May love to do this, something like that?
they would absolutely love it.
Right,
Yeah.
this would be great for them.
Camp runs until August,
There you go.
so we need to
They'll throw them in the pond, and then we'll have other issues.
feed to the ducks.
Okay. David, anything on dark sky?
Yeah, I did reach out to some of the local to see if they would like to help out with setting up telescopes.
Kevin, is Kevin?
He was one of them, yeah.
Isabel, yeah.
Yeah, he has some other ideas he'd like to do too. But I think doing it on the new nature trail would be a great idea. So it's just a matter of getting electric out there. If we can, I'm pretty sure there's telescopes where you don't need electric, maybe, the old school ones where you can just look through. But I think it'd be a great spot to show off the nighttime there also, so not just.
Timing of that would be something like in the fall, sometime later?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking what we had last year was in November, right? So if we can do a little bit earlier, would be ideal, because in October here, it's still amazing, the
It was a
temperature at
perfect
night.
storm for having what we did the last time we did it. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was good.
You know,
Yeah.
As far as the skies and everybody.
Well, it happened again that way,
Okay.
I promise. Well, I'll make sure. Yeah, I think it's a great spot, and I'm still planning on doing it there, so.
October or November, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking October at some point.
Okay.
I think October would be a good time.
All right.
Yeah, David, let's, if you want to talk about that more as far as getting the electric out there, we can have a conversation sooner rather than later, so you can focus on the program as opposed to the logistics type of stuff. So, that be Will, so would he be involved in?
I think it'd be more about,
Yeah.
we'll have to get generators out there, and the generators would have to be compatible with whatever telescopes are being used. So then it would come down to what the presenter would need
Okay.
to make his telescope work.
Let's-
So I guess when I have a better hold of all the presenters that would be there, what kind of generator or electric they would need to make their presentation possible.
All right, it's,
So that'd be the key.
sounds good. All
But
right.
there's lots of those little, you call little jut-out areas where you can
Portables.
put everything in there, which would be great.
Yeah.
And they're, hopefully they'll be quiet enough where you won't disturb any wildlife. That would be the other thing to think about, too. But I think that would be,
I mean, I'm not so sure the feasibility of it or the desirability of it, but is there anything that the city might do to extend electric out on those things? I mean, I don't know if that defeats the purpose. I really don't know.
I don't know. Let's have a discussion as far as what our needs would be.
Or some
for
kind of a
this, and then-
solar collection, maybe something out there, maybe, I don't know. Probably make it look bad, you know? I don't know.
It's as well as simply what the city is permitted to do
Yeah.
out there as well. Is what we have is because we have DEP approval,
All right,
so.
so
we need
baby
to-
steps, generators, that's
Yeah.
what we're gonna be.
baby step generators, yeah.
Yeah, that's why, it's- in this instance, logistics is going to be a significant piece of it, just because we don't have electric out there. So I just want to make sure that we just get ahead of it before, that we get ahead of it, but you're right, so whatever you need.
So it would probably be just really this telescopes, and we won't have like the inside space where we did little crafts or anything like that, or set up the lecture part of it. We probably wouldn't be able to do that out there.
I mean, you could, because we do have the space. We could put tables when you arrive to the park before you go up the ramp, because you do have an open area there,
Yeah.
which would be enough space for tables to put there, so you kind of walk through the table crafter spot first, and then, not crafter, but the table section first, and you can walk up to the actual telescopes too.
Lights there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the operations
Not
then,
saying
yeah.
that we need it, maybe we don't need it.
No, I mean, I
maybe-
think, no, I think it was a good idea, because I know when the Nature Center was there, they had a really good turnout too from people looking at,
Right,
yeah, so it's,
just something to think about.
Yeah.
We can fine tune it later.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody have anything else you want to talk about?
I'll just mention this, that cleanup, July 8th, it's at the Perry Street Beach. So
Thank you.
a great city social media has it on there, just as you
Well, I
said.
think we're going to promote that too on Saturday. We'll have the
Great.
sheet there for
Good
that.
idea.
It's great.
We'll get some of those printed out and have them there.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
bunch of copies I can
Great.
get to you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just hold all this stuff over that Gretchen was going to talk about. We'll
Yeah.
put it on next month's meeting.
Okay.
Right. She was on here for 3 or 4 things. Just move everything to next month for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Mike's off, please.